All right, so we are currently in France right now, but I'm still gonna get in a video for you guys on backtesting. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be more consistent with the backtesting videos and just with the videos in general. So being on vacation doesn't stop the motion. If anything, it's mobile motion. But yeah, for today, another, like I said, backtesting video, MNQ and ES continuation model. I haven't selected days yet, but I want to do maybe something that's like 2024. Because in my last video, I did 2019 and parts of 2021, but it wasn't too good because price action was really slow and just really, really choppy. So let's pull up 2024. Let's pick a random month. My eyes are closed. May. All right, we'll do May 1st. We'll just do the entire month actually. May 1st to May 31st. Geekin. All right, we'll start with another 50K. Great session. Let's get it. I also don't have my mouse. I left it in America. I left it at home. It's funny. All right, yes. Start on the volume indicator. Don't want or need that. We're also going to skip to next day open. All right, so Wednesday, May 1st, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Start of New York session. Let's go to the 1 hour. Extremely bearish, honestly. So ideally, I'd want to see us come out and take these lows, but I'm not too sure what we're going to do because we also very well could come up to this point right here if this is if we want to break structure and come up to this unfilled 1 hour. So who knows? This is also just simply too far away, just about 200 points. I'll maybe mark it just in case, but I mean, I doubt it. Yeah. It's also looking at 4 hour. Yes, I'm feeling, I don't know. I mean, if we're going to continue bearish, I wouldn't want to see this type of candle here on the 4 hour. So who knows? I'll mark it though, just in case. But let's see. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna use ES. I don't need ES. Let's see if we're trading out of any conditionals at market open. We had just tapped into this 15-minute gap, barely. Barely, but we tapped it. Is reporting? Yeah. Okay. 5 minute. So low time frame structure is looking very bullish. High time frame is looking pretty bearish overall. Because again, we're super low. Come up for retracement, went lower. At the moment, kind of just maybe breaking structure. So who knows? And if we do end up breaking structure and we go long, I'd want to long to this 1 hour gap. So ideally, let's see how market open starts. Come down. Did we tap into anything? We did. We tapped into a 15-minute gap. If we get more confirmation to go higher, I wouldn't mind longing again to that. But let's see. We're also in this pretty large bearish gap. Let's really see what we're doing. Not a fan of this. We haven't made any fair value gaps since market opened. We're just moving sideways. We only made one fair value gap and we inversed it 2 minutes later. Not too big of a fan of this. We're moving sideways, starting to maybe displace lower, but we're moving sideways. Not a fan of this price action though. 5 minute looks super ugly, super wicky. 15 is obviously strongly bearish as well, but not too big of a fan of this price action. Yeah, this is just gonna be a bad delivery day. We just edged this low too. Yeah. Skip. High time frame. This is now Thursday, May 2nd. All right. So we didn't do anything at market open on that Wednesday, but at 2 p.m. we started geeking and we went up a huge amount of points. I wonder what that was. Was that maybe FOMC or something? Oh, Fed interest rate decision at 2 p.m. That's exactly why. All right, no worries. So that's gonna be a data high. So let's actually mark that out from yesterday. Oh well, not really, because yeah, not really. This is more just the aftermath of that news coming out. Okay, just added some extra volatility. No worries. Once again, back to super low volume. That's always fun. This is just ugly. Like this is just a range on the 1 hour. Don't really have anything to go for here, if I'm being honest. 4 hour is ugly too, but we are obviously rejecting these gaps. Only thing I'd maybe look for is these to be taken, but not much, honestly. Not much. And longing, don't really know about that. Okay. Looks like we might want to short. All right, this is a little promising. Let's see if we have any conditionals that we just traded out of, especially with this wick. 5 minute gap, rejection out of it. This looks pretty clean, I'm not gonna lie. Why is this green? Let's make that more of a darker blue. Yeah, trading out of a 5 minute gap. We're displacing pretty heavily. We also tapped into this 1 minute gap at market open and we traded out of it. What I'm gonna do, let's see how big these stops are. 15 points, 34. I'll trade this with 1 minute, honestly. Not too big of a fan though. We're actually still in this range. And the 1 hour is pretty choppy, so this actually could be pretty risky. What I'll do is I'll go for a 1 to 1.5. And we'll risk, I'm cooked. We'll risk one contract. Let's actually see how much risk that is. I think it's gonna be like 1,200 maybe. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm on one contract. I'm cooked. Two contracts, it'll be 1,200. So let's do another one. All right. Let's see. Starting to chop around. Realistically, I should have went break even around here. All right, I'll definitely go break even now. And boom, TP hit. $2,000 in profit. Nice. And obviously, I could continue holding that because I'm sure we're probably going to end up going to this low eventually. Um, but that's a really, really, really large TP. Like that's almost 200 points. That's 145 points. Like we're not doing all that. So I'm just going to go for the 1 to 1.5 here. Take that, and then obviously obviously a safe stop loss placement right above the formation of this fair value gap that we were entering on, and we're good. If you want to be really safe, you can obviously put your stop here and target a 1 to 1. That would be the best, but you're putting on a lot of risk there. Like say, for example, if we go back to this part and we put the two contracts of risk, that'd just be a lot more money than you'd want to risk on a 50K account. So not ideal, but with this stop loss placement, it's still safe. You're risking about $1,200 with two contracts, and you can still get a 1 to 1, a 1 to 1.5, maybe a 1 to 1 to 2 if you want. Not sure if we're going to continue displacing lower, but yeah, we do. And we're actually, I'm sure, yeah, boom, we actually just hit that. So yeah, again, obviously you could hold that if you want to on an XFA. It might be best to just try your stops, but who knows? Otherwise, clean trade though. I'm actually going to document that right now. I'm not going to put everything in Notion yet, but I am going to at least get screenshots. I'll put this on the 5-minute because we traded out of that 5-minute gap at market open. We'll put this on the 1 hour to show our targets. So our target was this low. Our 5-minute gap was this conditional. Let's actually add some text. What the heck? Excuse me. This is our conditional. Nice, nice. Move that over. Move this over. Add some text over here. It's super tiny. Let's make that like 16. Lower 1 minute, everybody up entry 121.5 RR. TP hit. So now let's get that screenshot. And we're good to go. All right. So realistically, when you're backtesting, guys, that's how you want to journal your trades. You want to split things up so you can see your high time frame target. You want to be able to see your conditional, whatever it was, and you want to see your entry. That's going to give you the best results when you're backtesting and when you're journaling, because again, you'll be able to see exactly why you entered without any questions. Also, just explaining your trades, being able to look at them, being able to explain why they're valid helps you in the long run, because it really helps you rationalize your trading and your style. This definitely is data. Let's see what this is, CPI or something. Employment did that, really. Unemployment and non-farm payrolls. Interesting. Well, these are data lows, so let's mark that, because we very well might trade back to that. We just took like the swing high after data highs, so I'm not really too worried about that. But I definitely feel like if we were going to trade to data, we would probably come back to at least this point. So this could be a potential TP if we start like maybe manipulating higher and displacing lower, but we shall see. Let's look at the 1 hour as well, find some high time frame draws. Not any, but if we do come down to data lows, I don't see us stopping there. I see us coming back to hit these as well, which isn't too far away. Let's like 23 points away, 24. And on the 1 hour longs, don't look too good. I mean, we have this maybe that hasn't gotten taken, but I doubt we get there without a retracement. We're also in this super long, well, super large bearish gap, and maybe this target if we like displace through this 1 hour gap, but I doubt it. And 5-minute, we obviously had tapped into that gap from data 15. We didn't tap into it yet. So let's see. Kind of moving sideways, really in this range after the data. All right, so we just hit that first high. So if we continue to displace above it, we can maybe look for a retracement, something like this, and then end up taking something like that. But let's see. Took the first draw, we're chopping around. We did leave a 5-minute gap that we could potentially retrace into. So let's actually mark that out so I have to keep switching time frames. And what do we tap into here? I mean, we're also just in this huge bearish gap. It's actually, now that it's 10 o'clock, the 1 hour gap actually formed. Let's check out the 4 hour too. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna add another draw over here, which is gonna be that 1 hour gap. And we are displacing lower with a lot of volume and a huge rejection at 10 o'clock. That might have been news too. Let's see what this is. ISM services PMI. Cool. And honestly, we didn't necessarily tap that gap, but we are about to inverse this 5 minute. Let's get one more candle. Yeah, we just inversed that 5 minute and we displaced pretty heavily out of that. Probably not going to get a 1-to-1 on these. This isn't also the safest stop loss placement. Ideally, I'd want to maybe have them up here. So we'll see. I'll go small on this one. I'll only risk one contract because again, this isn't too good, but I do see us going down to data lows. Okay. Instantly, yeah, like that just wasn't too safe of a stop loss placement. I literally said ideally I'd want to have them up here, but I couldn't with my stop loss size. Like even a 1-to-1 would have been overshooting that gap like crazy. So this was kind of a bit of a rushed entry. I'm trying to have it up here at least, which again isn't safe. And we got worked out literally before we probably end up hitting TP. Worked out. So that's why having a really safe stop loss placement is super, super important. Because again, you could take these like bottom blast type trades. And honestly, if I had entered right here, I maybe would have been a bit safer because I would have been able to get, yeah, 1-to-1. If I had entered literally 1 minute before, safe. We would have had our stop loss up here, chilling. But I wanted to wait for that gap to close fully to see. So this will be a loss. And I'll mark that out. Where are we? So we had inverse that. Reset chart view. We're trading to these unfilled gaps, well, this unfilled gap and the data low. Uncut, unfilled, 1 hour gap, and deal. Screenshot. Oh, I can press this button. I forgot. Oh, that's gonna have my control panel. I'll delete that. And then take a new one. Nice. All right. So again, if I'd entered the minute before, boom, nice 1-to-1. Good. And that's perfectly fine. You don't want to take anything smaller than a 1-to-1 though. There's generally no point in doing that. There's no reason to be doing that ever. Yeah. Cool. So in those types of entries, again, unless you can have like this would be kind of a bottom blast because again, I wanted to wait for that gap to get inversed. But realistically, even like the minute before it got inversed, we were like right here, which I'll actually draw the line. Which even so, like if we were to come all the way down here, I wouldn't even want to trade this gap anymore. So I was like, I could have taken that honestly. And again, I would have had to save the stop, less risk. Well, more risk, but less risk in my mind because it's a bit of a safer stop. What is it? Oh, I did freaking Asia. All right, 1 hour is obviously super. Let's actually just go to one chart. Um, we're super bullish at the moment. We're still in this huge gap. We do have this unfilled. And actually, we already inversed this. Oh no, we didn't. All right, we're likely going to, and we have this unfilled 1 hour gap up here. Let's look at the 4 hour too. We're still in a huge, huge bearish 4 hour. In 1 hour, we have these highs. Hold on. All right, and then, oh, sorry, for bearish targets, don't really see don't really see many. As we've tapped into this 1 hour already, we're obviously extremely bullish coming out of it. We potentially have Asia lows down here, but that's pretty much it. Honestly, I'm still gonna mark them just because they're Asia lows and it's a prominent swing low, but wouldn't want to take anything else if I'm shorting. Oh, it's only not even 100 points away. Let's see. We're also trading out of this 15-minute at market open. Not trading out of any fives yet, but okay. That's always cool. We actually might still hold that 15-minute gap. And we also just tapped into this 5-minute gap. Okay, so let's watch for this because we just tapped into this unfilled 5-minute that was down here. This could be some manipulation, maybe a Judas swing at market open. We're actually respecting this gap still. And we just inversed this. So honestly, this is a bit more of a reversal trade, but we are extremely bullish on the high time frame. We just retraced into this 5-minute gap and we're displacing out of it. Well, not displacing yet, but we're closing very strongly out of it. We just inversed this 1-minute gap as well. I'm actually gonna make this red. It's an inverse gap. I would be very open to taking this trade with probably 2 contracts. Oh, almost clicked sell. This is gonna be about 1,000 points of risk, I think. Yeah. I mean, $1,000 of risk. Oh, I don't even know what my TP is. Hold on. Yeah, I'll do a 1.5 again because I don't want to overshoot and target that up here, which is super high, but um, we'll see. All right, we'll break even here. And this is the lever that we want to see out of, gaps and with, oh, am I going to get break even? And are you going to edit my TP? Okay, nice. So nice W. That was, actually, I don't even remember. Okay, $1,500. It's a nice $1,500 trade with 2 minis and 26 points of risk, which is again about $1,000 of risk. So I'll go over that real quick. I didn't really trade to this draw. I very well could have. I could have extended it, but it was pretty far away. I don't really want to take trades that are that many points away. And all of this comes from pretty much the 5-minute. So, wait, no, it's still going. Okay. So 5-minute time frame, we tap into this gap at market open, we manipulate into it, and we start to reject out of it. And we obviously come out of this retracement, we inverse this 1-minute bearish gap, and that was my entry. Safe stop loss would be putting it at the bottom of this swing where we retested the 5-minute gap. And then ideally, I would want to go break even after this point. I ended up not doing that though, because we could very well retrace into maybe one of these gaps. So if I'm ever gonna enter a position and there's like a gap at my entry, I'm likely gonna want to wait before I go break even because I'm just gonna get BE pretty much. Because what's stopping us from retesting this gap and then going up higher? Like if I enter here, we could very well go like this, tap into this gap, and then go higher to my TP. So it's like, all right, I could obviously go break even, but I'm just gonna get BE a lot of times. This one I would have been fine because of my entry, but I've gotten cooked on that a lot. I've also lost some trades because I didn't go break even waiting for it. So it just all comes down to your personal risk and your trading style. But to be honest, that's like a trade I'm comfortable with taking most times. So let's get rid of this. Let's also journal that. I'll just do 2 time frames because on the 1 minute, I mean, on the 1 hour, I didn't really have a target, just an unfilled gap. I ended up taking a 1-to-1. Yeah, with too many of risk, I'm not gonna try to force it and overshoot like that. Put this back at 1 to 1.5, it was. Nice, okay. And I'll actually write this on the 5 minute. Oh, you're respecting the gap. All right, screenshot that. Oh, I keep doing that. I forgot I added this to my control panel, literally exactly for that. All right, so that's good. So 2 wins, 1 loss, and we're at $2,960 in profit. So even so, like that loss that I did end up taking, I took it sized down because again, my stop loss wasn't as safe. Sorry, my stop loss wasn't as safe. It was kind of a bit of a bottom blast. So even when we do lose, our losses are way smaller than our winners. As you can see, the first trade that I took and the trade that I just took, I ended up trading it with 2 minis because again, those are safer trades, trades that I have a lot more confidence in. So I'm going to put a lot more risk on the table, like $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, stuff like that. And then most of the time, my TP is going to be same thing, 1,200, maybe even $2,000, stuff like that. So it really all comes down to risk management and how you actually execute on your trades. So let's get rid of this. Let's go to the 1 hour and look for some targets. Again, I'm going to be very bullish on today with the higher time frames. We created this gap, we ended up chopping around in it, and we are now displacing out of it. So we're displacing because we're coming above this swing high. That's displacement. We're clearly respecting this high time frame gap, and because of that, I'm going to look for targets up here. We do have this kind of swing high right here, which isn't too far away. That's yeah, it's only 15 points, like not much, not much. And the next one is super far away. Actually, it's like about 125 points away. It's not too bad. It looked a little farther because of the way I had um, my zoom. But it's one of those cases where it's like, do you really want to long into a gap? Not really. So ideally, I'd want to wait until we actually, displace pretty decently above here. And then if we do that, I'd take a trade. Let's look at the 4 hour too. Yeah, it's still gonna be the same swing high, nothing crazy. And on the 4 hour, again, more confirmation that we're just gonna be super bullish. We're trading out of this gap with crazy, crazy displacement. That looks really nice. Again, we might manipulate into something lower at market open. Let's see if there's any conditionals for us to do that. The heck? Okay, that was weird. On the 15-minute time frame, we do have some unfilled gaps over here. We have 2 unfilleds. So we, again, could manipulate into one of these at market open, then go higher. We'll see. We also have this 5-minute gap. So again, we could very well do something like this where we start to fake as if we're going lower and then boom, come higher. So we will see what we do with that. But again, I wouldn't want to take a trade until we probably end up tapping some of these gaps. So let's go to, okay, I guess not. All we did was respect this 1-minute gap. We didn't tap into any conditionals. Not really, no. So that's a trade where we just, like the market just didn't give us an entry to this first draw. Um, but again, maybe we end up continuing to displace through this 1 hour gap and we go higher, but who knows? We took that draw, we're starting to move sideways. We might have actually tapped into one of these gaps. We did, we tapped into this 15-minute gap over here. And we're actually rejecting really strongly out of it. If we end up inversing this, maybe we can take another trade, but we're also moving with not too much volume. Yeah, and we didn't do that at all. We might head lower or actually just move sideways. I'm going to skip today. Like we literally made an M on the chart. Like that's so whack. Ideally, we want to see this type of stuff. Retracement, boom. But we made an M instead. Not fun. Or I hate using the trackpad and using the path tool. All right, next day open. Didn't take any trades that day. Let's see. Yeah, we literally took that draw and just started chopping around and now we're dumping. All right, so on the 1 hour, we have this low that's really close to us, about 20 points away. So we're not going to target that at all, actually. There's no point. Is this still recording? Okay, it is. How long is this actually? Does it tell me? 30 minutes. That's not bad. All right. We have this swing low, which I'm obviously not going to target. We have not much, honestly. These draws aren't looking too good. Cannot lie. We would maybe have this and we move this over and this, but not looking too good. Actually, those aren't too far away. They look really far away, but they're not too bad. If we're going to continue lower, if we're going to be, sorry, I'm going to delete all these. I'll actually keep that because that still hasn't been mitigated. If we do come up higher, we obviously have this unfilled 1 hour. I'll take the 4-2. Oh, we might honestly be coming to this gap and I'm just going higher. So let's really see, because honestly, I'm still feeling a little overall high time frame bullish. So let's really see. All right, looks like we're going to tap into these gaps maybe and displace lower, but who knows? Let me draw that 4 hour too. Because even though it's like 30 points away, we could retrace higher to go into one of those gaps. So let's see. 5 minute and 15. We're in a 15-minute gap now. We're respecting this 1 minute, but not too big of a fan of what we would be doing here, honestly. All right, now we're starting to do something. We could be tapping into this gap and then potentially reversing. But again, I'm also high time frame bullish. We also just inversed. Oh no, we didn't. It's only 9:37. I'm gonna look at this on the 5 and we'll see what we're doing from there. All right, so 5-minute candle just closed. We did end up inversing that 15. It's now 9:40. Okay. So my thoughts. Don't really have many, honestly. This is a day where I probably wouldn't have taken any trades at all. Like, I don't really see any good entries with any conditionals that I like. Yeah, like over here, 5-minute is super, super choppy, and we end up displacing out of it kind of with the 1 minute. We create a small gap that we end up respecting and displacing out of. And the only thing that was holding me back from clicking buy right here and doing this and going for 1-on-1 here, or at least a 1 to 1.44, is again the fact that we had these 15-minute gaps that we hadn't. Well, when did I enter that? Well, when would I have entered this? 9:36. So yeah, I think this was before we even ended up inversing that gap fully, because it wasn't until 9:40 that we ended up inversing it. So we hadn't inversed the 15-minute gap yet. So I'm like, all right, there's a possibility that we could obviously respect this and come back down. And also we'd be longing straight into another gap. So it's like, do I really want to take that? Not really. Um, and again, only conditional would have been this 1-minute gap. So not really taking it. And yeah, not too big of a fan of that, honestly. Not too big of a fan. All right, let's go back to the 1 hour. High time frame. We're kind of just ranging, honestly. We have these highs above us. I probably wouldn't want to take these lows because they're really, really new. If we were going to come down to anything, I'd want us to come back to this and maybe this high as well. Realistic. So I'm going to move all these over. These are just getting in the way. I don't know what's there. Okay. So those are my draws on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour. Wait. 8:30. What happened? Initial jobless claims. Thank you, America. All right. Okay. 4 hour. Super, super long rejection wicks over here. That's not fun at all. Obviously, there's swing highs though. We have this low. And yeah, I wouldn't target this one. So just these two, honestly, for things that I see. And also an unfilled 4 hour down here. It looks like we're going to come down to and end up edging the hell out of it. So that's always fun. And then, yeah, I would probably just target those two. Anything else above it is too far for me. All right, so let's see. We have an unfilled 5 minute over here. Oh, actually, let me draw the box like how I always do. And this is a long one, so like ideally I'd want to. Oh, is this from the data? Does it say 30? Yeah, it is. All right, so let's see. And also at 15. I'll actually just extend that to make it a 15. Okay. So keep in mind that this blue is the bullish gap. You want to see us respect it, hopefully. And we didn't. So what is this? Have we closed it? We actually just closed this 5 minute. And we're respecting this 1 minute gap over here. So we have an inverse gap. I actually probably do a bit of a larger stop loss here, I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty far of a target. So again, I'll just do like a 1 to 1.5. And we also very well might reverse after taking out some of this low resistance liquidity down here. But we also have, yeah, this is just some really nice unfilled, unmitigated liquidity. Can I not draw this? All this is low resistance liquidity that we could take. And we also just inverse that 5 minute from data. We could very well continue lower. This isn't really much of a continuation trade though. So ideally I'm just gonna trade one mini. Bruh. And how many points is this? This is like $500. Yeah, 525 for $805 risk. Perfectly okay with that. Let's see. Okay, I'll definitely go break even now, actually. Because again, this is a bit of a riskier trade. We're up $485 and we just got edged on TP and we hit TP. Nice. So a bit of a riskier trade, but more of a reversal instead of a continuation. But this time we do have a really nice conditional. It was this data gap, which ended up getting inversed, which was literally our entry. We also had entered off of this 1 minute gap that got respected after making a Judas swing at market open and displacing lower. We had unmitigated and unfilled, sorry, all these freaking buzzwords. I sound crazy. We had unmitigated liquidity over here that was waiting to get swept, just low resistance liquidity. And you remember how I got edged actually? Let's take a look at that. So let's see what happened. My TP was down here at a 1.1.5. Sorry, 1 to 1.5. And we ended up getting edged a little. Why is that? Because we took out this low resistance liquidity. We literally took it, we reversed up to kind of retrace a little, and then we actually ended up hitting my TP. So I could have had my TP right here. That would have been ideal and probably the safest TP. But one, we're just back testing into like it's a 1 to 1.5, which isn't anything crazy. I also was break even really early on in the trade because we had this really nice displacement. So Boom. And I know what you guys are thinking, like, hey, you entered off of a 1 minute gap as well. Why not wait until we retrace it or retest it to go break even? On this one, again, it was a bit of a riskier trade because it's more of a reversal than a continuation. So I'm just going to go break even a bit sooner. I'm a bit more discretional again with my break evens because it really depends on my model, my risk tolerance, how much I'm risking, how many points the trade is, like the scenario. So you really want to build up until you get to a point where you can have that discretional break even style of trading or just that discretional type of trading in general. You should never be pattern trading. You should never be just, you know, having a super strict model because no 2 days are going to be the same. You're going to see something that you might have to again bend your rules on, kind of adjust your system for, use your discretion for, and that's exactly what we do as traders. So this ended up working out. We're at 75% win rate with $3,765 of profit on this account. So if this was an eval, boom, I would have been passing it. Well, I would have passed it with this trade. If this is XFA, that's awesome. I already have 3 winning days, and we got just about 2.7K in profit. So that's awesome. We'll go to next day open. I'm not going to go too far into the month. I only want to do probably like an hour of backtesting here. We're at 41 minutes. So we'll see how far we get. We're on day 10 of this month. Did I already delete everything I did? Okay. So back to the 1 hour. Still really bullish, honestly. And we have this high up here, which is 75 points away. That's not bad. I'll take that. We'll do that one and we'll do this unfilled bearish up here. Excuse me. Oh, that's a 4 hour actually. On the 1 hour. Excuse me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still feeling bullish. We ended up inversing this 1 hour gap, but I'm still feeling bullish. This could just be, let's see, actually, because we're actually in this 5 minute gap right now. So this will be my conditional. If we respect this and continue lower, like this, we could look for shorts to the downside. But if we end up doing something like this and having like sort of a V-shaped reversal where we inverse this gap and maybe even this one, we could look for longs. So let's see. I'm actually going to stay on the, oh, well, I don't have any bearish targets, do I? Maybe just this one. That's London low, and we're going to have our Asian low down here as well. So just those two, honestly. I wouldn't want to long any low, no short any further than that. And I'm actually going to stay on the 5 minute because I want to see how we respect that. Okay, yeah. The 5 minute makes this look really clean. Can't even lie. So I have my stop realistically up here above these. I could get a one-to-one trading to this one, but I'm also just going to do this. 5 minute looks really clean, so I'm going to take that. Let's see the 1 minute. Honestly, yeah, I'm going to just stick to the 5 minute and take this. Oops. Oops. No, I don't want support. Oh, I already clicked sell before, so now I'm in 2 contracts by accident. 1,100. Not sure if I want to risk that. Let's actually do this. Let's just bring it down to 1 contract. All right, is that not going to do anything? All right, let's actually just do this then. Okay. Short with 1 con, stop up here above this 5 minute gap. I'm only risking $500 to make 915. So let's see. Oh, I didn't realize that was a 5 minute gap that we tapped into. Okay. Touche, market. All right. Yeah, my time frame is super bullish, obviously. I didn't even realize it was the 5 minute gap that we had tapped into. And it's also, again, why I went with smaller risk, because that way we just lost $500 instead of losing 1,000 something. So it's like, all right, we're still at $3,205 of profit. And we still potentially could. Honestly, no, this would have been the most fire reversal. If I had noticed that this is a 5 minute gap, this would have been the most fire reversal coming out of this one and longing like literally right here. Boom. on a bullish day too. If we get another retracement, maybe we could enter again to get to these longs, but I doubt we might. Oh, actually, it's not a gap though. This could be a 1 minute retracement, but we don't really want to take those. Tap into this 1 minute on the way up. 25-point trade. We're also chopping, not the best. I wouldn't actually enter this, but I'm gonna just draw the thing. Yeah. Probably would have got break even, honestly. Yeah, would end up with it. Actually, this would have been a break even for sure. This close to the draw, that would have been a break even. But yeah, that's why we don't enter those type of trades. It's a FOMO trade. Just was curious to see how it would play out. And we also ended up edging this draw. But what did we just happen to this 5 minute actually? Also, I'd never would be on the charts this late. Actually, no, it's only 10. What am I cooking? It's only 10 up there. And we actually just inverse this 5 minute, not gonna lie. This could be something. We were rejected out of that high time frame. I'll take this, honestly. Again with 1 minute. And we'll target both of those lows. Nice. 1 minute gap ended up getting respected. Now I'll go break even after we've already rejected out of it and respected it. And do we hit TP? We get edged on the second one. All right, so we were literally like a couple points away from that. That's a good break even though, because again, we respected this gap that our entry was at. We come up here. We actually, seeing this, like realistically, I'm not gonna do that, but all right, say something like this, where we edge our second TP like this. We come up and we have a candle like this. Realistically, I'm in real life, I'm gonna go like this. Oh, can I not do that? I'm gonna go like this and put my stop at this draw to at least secure some profit because there's no reason why we should be rejecting this. But unfortunately, I had that break even, and then we get break even. It is what it is. But yeah, there's no reason why we should be edging this low like that. We should be taking that immediately. Yeah, we didn't even create any gaps. Like that's just MQ trolling. Yeah. Oh, oops, I just hit that back. So I meant to remove that. How do I show these? Okay, whatever. Let's see. We're at 48 minutes and we're on May 13th. We'll just do half the month. That's fine. Normally, when I'm doing backtesting, I only backtest like half a month, anyways, because I think that's like the most you can do without going insane. 1 hour again, super bullish. That's 17 points away. All right, not fun. What do we have above that? Yeah, that's the high that we ended up edging yesterday on May 12th. Or no, Friday. So the 10th. Not cool. Not cool. We have that high. That's inside of a gap though. So realistically, I wouldn't want to target another one. But it's like, all right, that's 16 points away. So realistically, like, oh, did we take it yesterday? Oh, I guess we did. Oh, yeah, I think I just didn't trade to it. That's what it was. And on the 4 hour, we just have these lows. Not too big of a fan though of shorting. London lows, Asia lows over here. Yeah, not a fan of today's price action. Well, today's targets and potentially price action. On the 5 minute, we're rejecting out these gaps really hard. And 15 looks beautiful too. Okay, I guess not. Let's go to 935 and we disrespect and invalidate all of these. Okay. It's even down here. What are we going for? Oh, this unfilled gap. I didn't even see that. All right, we could potentially target that, honestly. It's only 20 points away. So ideally, if we retrace one of these gaps, that's cool. And also in live markets, like seeing us respect this gap at least, I'd want to see like this candle form and probably enter while it's forming. I guess not. Okay, honestly, this is a, well, this wouldn't be a safe stop. Not at all. Not at all. A one-to-one here would be like diabolical because this is just not safe at all. Yeah, ideally though, like in live markets, I'd probably enter like midway through this candle. That way you get a bit more of a decent, stop. But like you can't do that on TradeZella, which kind of stinks. Like this would have been the ideal entry. Midway through this candle after we're respecting it, like that's beautiful. I obviously can't do that though. So it is what it is. Do we have the 1 second actually? Can we even do that? 1 second, I'm cooked. 30 second. No, we can't. Yeah. Ideally, this would have been the best entry. I can't take this now that the candle's already closed because this would have been my break-even point as well. There's not much I can do in this case. TradeZella stinks for that, not having 30 second. This would have been so clean though. Like this would have been so clean. I can't even take it. Can I even do like limit entries? How exactly this plus sign? Nope. I can't. All right. Well, you know what? This is gonna be my last trade anyways. I don't really care to do anything else after this. It's already been just about an hour. And what else is down here? That's just the 1 minute. I mean, the 1 hour gap. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just full port this. It's the last trade. I can't even take the trade that I want to take, so let's go all in. Fuck it. We're geeking. Oh, wow. Do we get edge like that? There's no way. I was gonna say. Oh, nice. All right. Well, just wanted to go for a 1-to-1. Oh, that wasn't even a 1-to-1. I thought it was. Well, cool. 1 to 1.5, whatever. Ideally, again, this would have been a really, really clean trade to take if I could enter halfway through this candle. Oh, it was a 1 to 1.5 because I had my stop at this swing high. That's what it was. Okay. Well, whatever. Ideally, I'd want to enter on the middle of this candle. And again, here's why. We have that unfilled 1 hour gap. We're clearly rejecting higher with these wicks, with this strong volume, etc. We created this 1 minute gap. We went lower. We ended up having a really deep retrace of about 25 points into that 1 minute gap. We respect the gap really, really well. And ideally, I would have entered again midway through this 939 candle. I couldn't do that though because of TradeZella, so I just end up going like this and taking a 1 to 1.5, 1 to 1.15, I guess. Sorry. Something like this. Obviously, that's not a trade that I would want to take in real life, but this is really clean and I wanted to take it on the TradeZella account. So it is what it is, but whatever. All right, so that's cool. Actually, you know what? It's been 54 minutes though. I'll look at the next day just in case there's any trades, but if not, I'll just end it here. High time frame. Oh wait, that was the 1 minute and that was a huge candle. This gotta be CPI day. And it's a Tuesday. This might be CPI day. Yeah. Oh, PPI. Cool. PPI. Nice. So we have a cool data high Cool, data low. Oh, damn, data low is bad deep. Let me get this. All right, so on the 1 hour as well, we have not much. Unless we're trading to the data high or data low, I'm not taking anything, especially because I just want to end this video. The 5 minute looks pretty clean. We actually might, if we respect this gap, head higher to the data highs that are unmitigated. So let's see what we do here. But we're also in this 15-minute gap. Oh, okay. I'm not going to get an entry. Yeah, so I'm not getting an entry to that data high. Oh, actually, we just respected this 1 minute gap. This is risky. I'd want to see how we respect this gap on the next candle. But perhaps. Oh, that's the most 8 points. No, I don't realize we're that close. Yeah, there's no point. Oh, I would have got cooked anyways. Wait, this wouldn't have been bad, honestly. But we're also really, really close to data highs, so there's no point. Yeah, there's no point. We're probably going to take data highs. Nothing we can do here. Cool. All right, so let's look at the stats. YouTube video, session results. All right, so $5,000 of profit, 71% win rate, 66% daily win rate. My average win compared to my loss was a 1-to-2 ratio, well, 2-to-1 ratio, sorry. So yeah, my average loss was $600 because all my losses, again, I was sizing down because if I was entering a trade that I'm not that confident in, I'm gonna size down. You know, 7 trades in total, 5.13%, well, 5.13 profit factor. Expected at least $700 from each of my trades. My max drawdown was $600. Average drawdown was $600, and that's a 5K within half of the month of May, just from taking simple continuation trades with 1 to 2 minis on my account. Excuse me. Let's look at the reports as well. We'll go to the calendar for 2024. May. All right, so Fridays were the losing days. Fridays suck. I hate trading Fridays. If you know me, you know that. I'm surprised I didn't take any trades on any Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays in real life are usually pretty good for me, and Mondays aren't. So that's pretty surprising. Quite surprising. Let's also look at what else is there on reports? Just performance, I guess. All right, I guess not. Can we look at this? Session results. Reports. Oh, there we go. Okay. So average winning trade again, $1,200. That actually aligns with like my risk on XFAs and combines. I want to be risking like 700 to 800 max and going for like $1,000 to $1,200. That's perfect. 5 winning trades, 0 break evens. All right, did it count some of my break evens as a winning trade? Maybe that's why. Largest profit was that. I think that was the day I full ported, so it doesn't even count. Average hold time 11 minutes. Ideally, I'd want to get that down. I want my hold time to be down a little because I want to take trades with really good delivery and really good volume. So it is what it is. Losing trades, losing a 1 minute on average hold time for winning trades, 15 minutes. Just some choppy delivery, honestly, some choppy price action, but still good trades overall. And nice. That concludes this backtesting session. That was awesome. I'm gonna try to upload this today. We'll see because the Wi-Fi in Paris absolutely sucks. But my computer will be here all day, the rest of the day, even though I'm gonna go out and do a couple more things. So that's awesome. As always, drop any questions you have in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. And there'll be more videos coming for you guys in the future, especially this week. I'll try to get some more backtesting videos out because I'm gonna do a lot of backtesting. So yeah.